All right. So let's work on this together then. Right. So the first question is sum of sales. So sum is a very basic function of Excel, right? So all we have to do is write, when you are entering Excel functions, and again, this is a refresher, there are multiple ways to do it, right? The one that I prefer, and it's easier because I like typing, is write equal, right? And then the function that we want the sum, so I'm going to write sum, okay? And then I'm going to select the column that contains the values that I want. So this is the sales, so I'm going to select all the sales in the sales column like this, and then close the parentheses, and then press enter, okay? So since we are here, some notations that I want you to be familiar with as we go on. A function consists of three parts, okay? We have the equal sign at the beginning, it has to be put there, and then the name of the function, and then the values on which the function works, which these values go between the parentheses, okay? So we open a parenthesis, and then we enter the values on which we will apply this function, right? These values are called parameters. So when I say parameters, understand that these parameters are the values inside the parentheses, okay? So a function contains the names of the function, the name of the function, and then the parameters, okay? So this is the sum of sales. Sales are in dollars, of course, and if you want to format this as dollars, then if you go up here, you will find general, and below it, the dollar sign right there. You click the dollar sign, and the number will be formatted as dollars. Another way to do it is to right-click the cell, and then go to format cells. Okay. And then select the number, and select accounting, and we are okay as well. Okay. The second question is about the average of quantity. Again, average is a very basic function, so I will write equals average. Okay, and then again, I'm going to select the column that I want, quantity. So this is the quantity. I will select the values in the quantity column, close the parentheses, and this is the average quantity that we have here, right? Again, quantity is usually a whole number. There is no such thing as a fraction of quantity. So what we can do again is we can approximate this number. So if I click here, sorry, the other way around, I can approximate it to 0 decimal points. Or again, you click here, you go to format cells, and then you click on number decimal places, set it to 0. Okay. And then the count of order number, right? So now in Excel, we have two functions for count. One of them is called count, like this, count. And then I will select the order number and we'll count them. Okay, so we have 9 orders, okay? However, this function, the count function, only works with numbers. The count function does not work with other data types, okay? So when I ask you to count the number of city, if I write equals count, and then select the values in city, I will get a 0, okay? Why did I get a 0? Because the count function does not count text. It does not count strings or texts, right? The other function that we use to count strings or text is called count A, okay? So it's called count A, okay? So count A is the function that we use to count non-numeric values, okay? Same thing for states. States are text as well, so equals count A. And then we will select this, okay? Count A does not select empty spaces. So if we have empty spaces like we do here, then they are not counted. So this is why we have 5 as the number of states and 9 as the number of cities, okay? Right. Now the percent rank, what is the percent rank function? The percent rank function is a statistical function. It's related to statistics. It tells you the location of this value compared to all the other values in the column. Okay, so it's going to give us what is the percentage of values below this value. Okay, so this is the value of the sales, 5205.27. This is the value here, right? The percent rank will tell us what is the percent of the other sales below this number. Okay, so we have 3,000, we have 2,000, we have 2,100, and so on. So the percent rank will tell us the percentage of values below 5,205. Okay, so this is a very important, not very important, but I use it in my courses a lot of time. So I want you to understand this function. This function gives us the percentage of values below the value that we have here. Okay, so I will write percent rank, and you will see that we have several percent ranks. Percent rank dot exclusive, dot inclusive, and just percent rank. Okay, percent rank exclusive excludes the top and lowest, the highest and lowest values in the data. Okay, so if I use this, the top and lowest value will be excluded. Inclusive will include them together. However, for the sake of this course, I'm going to use percent rank, which is a more generic function. Okay, so percent rank. Percent rank takes two parameters. The first parameter is the column that I want to check the values of. So what column I'm looking at? I'm looking at the sales column, so I'm going to select the values in the sales column, right? And then the second parameter is called the X. The X is the value I'm getting the percent rank of. In this case, it's 5205.27. Okay, so 5205.27. Okay, again, percent rank takes two parameters. The first one is the column, the values I'm checking, I'm looking at, and then the value I'm getting the percent rank of. Okay, and we'll get 87.5, which means that 87.5% of the sales are below this number. Okay. The final thing is I want the sum of count of order number, count of city, and count of state. Okay, so there are different ways to do this. I'll show it in two ways. The first way is we already have the count of order number, count of city, and count of state. We already have those here, right? We already have those right here. So I will sum them up. So I will write sum, and then I will click on count of order number, comma, click on count of city, comma, click on count of state, and that's it, right? Again, I use the function sum because this is what I want to do. And then I clicked the cells that contain the count of order number, count of city, and count of state. This is the easiest way to do it in our case. I computed each value separately in a cell, count of order number, count of city, and count of state, and then I summed up together. There is a shorter way to write things, but you need to be attentive on how to write it and not make mistakes. We call it nested function. A nested function means a function inside another function, nested, like when you have a nest and you put a bird inside it or something. It's called nested function, right? So to write it as a nested function, I write equals, again sum, and then I will insert the other functions inside it. So I will write count, and then select the order numbers, okay, comma, and then count A, and then I will select the cities, okay, comma, count A, and then I'm going to select the states. Okay, now when you write nested functions, you need to be very careful with the parentheses, because one of the most common errors when you are writing a function is you mess up the parentheses. So make sure that each function inside the big function it has its own parenthesis, as you can see here. And then at the end, I will close the parenthesis of the sum function. Press enter. Why is it different?
You forgot the count of the states in the first one, in the 18.
Okay. No, I didn't. Maybe I entered it wrong. B21. Yeah, B20, 25, not 150. I inserted an extra 0 here. Right? Okay. So, and it's okay. So this is called nested functions. When you have a function inside another function, it's called a nested function. We will be using this starting from Thursday. So keep an eye on that. And then the key problems that we face here is forgetting missing these parentheses. Okay, so when you are looking at a function, when you are using a function in Excel, you need to be very very understanding or very knowledgeable of the parameters. Okay, so you need to make sure that you need to know that each function has two parts: the name of the functions and the parameters, and the function will not work without its full parameters. Okay, so keep that in mind, and you will make mistakes when we work in the if function, and we will go back to it on Thursday. Okay, any questions about this exercise, anyone? Okay, so I'm going.
I was just wondering if these are graded for participation, like our Excel sheets, or is it more just to learn?
No, this is for us. This there is no practice. I don't give any grades for solving these sheets in class, so it's just for practice. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So I don't have time. We'll not go any further, so we'll stop here. Okay. But before we stop, sorry, don't do that. I want to point something to you guys. You will find a link called Zoom in the left-hand side of the course. Okay. All my meetings are recorded. So if you go to cloud recordings here, you will find, once we end this class, give it an hour or 2 hours, and then you will find a recording here. So if you want to go back to the class, you can always go and rewatch the recording if you want. All my classes will be recorded. Okay. Thank you so much for being here today. It was great meeting you, and I will see you Thursday, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Professor.
Thanks, Professor.